Hi YouTube and welcome back to another video. Today, as promised, or not as promised, but as I suspected, I am in a better mood and I feel like putting this video out. So without further ado, on to today's topic, which is, as you probably guessed by the title, what to practice. Or not sure what to practice. It sounds like a really clickbaity title, doesn't it? Okay, so I just thought I'd share some ideas with you. So, not sure what to practice. First off, my question is, are you practicing deep enough? Are you practicing whatever material you're working on to the detailed extent to which you could be practicing? Because if there's been anything in my life that I have felt to a very small extent, it is the question, what do I practice? Most of my life I've been like, well, I should practice this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And I've been overwhelmed and I'm like, what is important to practice? So I practice less, but for longer, if that makes sense. Like I practice less material, but more in depth. But if you require other approaches, then this video is for you. So let me share with you some scale patterns that are a little bit less familiar. So everybody does the, let's get the mic off here. So everybody does scales in thirds, but do you practice them in fourths or fifths or even sixths, sevenths, octaves, ninths, tenths? You get the idea? So I'll just show what I haven't done sevenths in a while, so let's try this. How about that? Kind of cool. That's a nice open sound. Now, it kind of leads me into an idea, actually an exercise that I got from the guitarist Kurt Rosenwinkel. He didn't like give it to me. I just listened to one of his master classes. So if you take, just bear with me and we'll get to Kurt Rosenwinkel's exercise and you might enjoy it. But the process getting there is also important. So let's do fourths. Let's backtrack and do fourths instead of sevenths. Here we go. Okay, right? So we did two notes at a time. Jumped up a fourth and then down to the next note in the scale. So let's do it in groups of three. So we're stacking fourths now. So we're going up a fourth and then up another fourth, but we're staying diatonic. So I'm in concert B flat, and on the tenor, that's in the key of C, and on alto, that's the key of G. So what was I saying? I was saying that stay in the key. So for you concert pitch people, that's going to be B flat. The first three notes are going to be B flat, E flat, A. So that the A is not a perfect fourth above the E flat. It's an augmented fourth. Ooh, music theory terms. But in other contexts, it would be a diminished fifth. So be aware. It's a fourth. It's a fourth. Okay, here we go. I did it myself. See, that was a diminished fifth right there when I played from the concert A to E flat there. So and then back to the root. Okay, so I'm gonna do it an octave lower so it doesn't sound so trashy up there. Here we go. So that's kind of cool, right? Now, let's get to the next part. So let's look at our root motion here. So every 3 notes, I'm going to be moving up the major scale. So starting on B flat, C, D, E flat, F, going up the major scale. So I do the root, and then I stack the fourths on top. Then I do the second, and then I stack the fourths on top. Then I do the third, and so on. But here's where the Kurt Rosenwinkel exercise comes in. What if you did the roots in a stepwise manner, such as a major scale in thirds? So if you went B flat, D, C, E flat, D, F. So that would involve still stacking. Say that 10 times fast. Still stacking, still stacking, still stack. Okay, it's not as hard as I thought it was. I just can't speak English. Still stacking the fourths, but keeping the first note of each trio of notes in a scalular pattern. So I can only do this slowly right now because my brain is slow. But here is what that might sound like. Oh, and you don't repeat notes because you're going in thirds, and the interval that you're going in in the groupings are fourths. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm having a really hard time explaining it in simpler terms because this is the only way I can think about it, and it's still muddled as is. Here we go. That's kind of cool. Now, are you going to play that? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe you might find the perfect place to play that, and maybe you'll get better at it than I am. But I don't practice this stuff all the time, so this is really just a good brain exercise. I remember hearing this and trying to practice it many years ago. And by many, I know there are people who are far older than me and think that I am a youngling. And there are people who are watching this now that are probably younglings to me. So my point is that it is something to practice, and if it does nothing more than getting your brain working, then it's done its job. Honestly, a lot of practicing, especially when you're starting out, is getting your brain in shape, getting your head in shape. I'm not saying that you think while you play, but if you're carving those theory pathways while you're practicing, it's like you absorb it and it becomes part of your being when you play. And you start programming what sounds good and what doesn't sound good over certain chords. You're learning how to play inside. And by giving yourself 7 notes, you can come up with infinite possibilities. I mean, I haven't even really added rhythm to this. So it's kind of a cool exercise. So I hope you can take these ideas and make your own. For example, you could stack fifths and do the exercise in fourths. I've never done that before. I swear to God I'm not cheating. So I am going to try that right now, and you're going to hear me fail in the most remarkably beautiful way. Here we go. Oh, I left this microphone to you, but don't worry. It would sound the same way either way. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm just racking my brain trying to figure out what the heck the next note is, and I probably made some mistakes here, but set some really ridiculous. Oh, you can't even hear me now. Okay. This is a fun live stream and you're enjoying this, right? Anyway, set some ridiculous guidelines for yourself. Screw up, try to rack your brain over something. It's like weightlifting for your brain. So the goal is to get stronger and think in different ways, because after I do a session of really intensive brain work that I don't normally do, even if I don't think when I go to play the next time, I find myself creatively and spontaneously coming up with new ideas in the moment. It's almost as if I'm reminding myself that what I currently play isn't all that I have to play. So I hope this helped. If you got any value out of this video, or if you enjoy any of my other videos, please subscribe to my channel. I put out a new video just about every single night. And like this video, share it with your friends. I'd love to have more saxophonists on board. This is not a saxophone exclusive community, but I talk a lot about saxophone on this channel. But I think a lot of these things apply more towards the whole of music. So also, if you have any ideas about what you might want me to do a video on, or if you have any comments on this video, please let me know below. And I think that's it. Be nice to your parents, stay in school, don't do drugs, and stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. So with that, I bid you farewell and have a great night. Happy practicing.